Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Glory Hunter Retro Style. We are season number 4 and I'm so bloody excited for this one. Season number 4 and we got a new job. So that's 3 management jobs in the space of 4 seasons, and the job I applied for in the previous episode for Liverpool, I only went and bloody got it, didn't I? Nailed the interview. They were very, very happy. Obviously, they thought they were taking on an absolute tactical genius in me, and obviously quite impressed with what I did with Atletico Madrid and Benfica. And they brought it in. They brought me in, shall I say. I'm well chuffed with this. And I've had a lot of time to get it sorted out because, thankfully, I got the job after a couple of weeks of applying for it. So I still had a good chunk of the transfer window to get my implementation across. So transfer wise, still got 56 million in the budget with a very healthy wage budget. I got given a budget of, I think it was 110 million, but transfers ins and outs. So none of these before the tick over were my doing. Alexis was brought in the January, Oscar was brought in the January, Eduardo Salvio was a deal that was already implemented before I came in, but a very good purchase. He is now out on loan at Hanover. When he came in, I looked at him and was like, no, he needs game time. This guy's going to be a hell of a winger. Regen or not, I've never heard of him as a real life player, so I don't know. Obviously, the Brazilian Oscar, he is now out on loan. I believe he's gone to Rangers, so he's done well. Sales wise, though, I did move a couple of players out. Buzanes, goalkeeper, he's gone to Young Boys along with Warrington for some strange reason. But that's about it. I mean, the other players that left on the 1st of July, Benayoun went to West Ham for 6 million, Voronin left for Olympique Lyon. Arbeloa, he's gone on a deal where he was on loan at Portsmouth and they've bought him in, or they will bring him in, should I say. Insua has gone to Newcastle. But I sold another 46 million. As I say, Alexis came in. I didn't like his style of play. He's gone out. Nicky Hoffs has gone to Arsenal for 13 million. Damien Escudero has gone to Manchester City. And Manchester City, who are shite, by the way, at this time. And Alvaro Arbeloa, Portsmouth, 2.9 million, was part of the deal that sent him on loan. And a couple of others. Steve Finnan's left. He wanted a new challenge, but he's 34, so I was like, yeah, see you later. And Tommaso Berni was never, ever going to get a game for me. A couple of the players of note that have gone out. Lucas Leiva, he's gone to Benfica. That contract has a future release clause in it, so hopefully I'll get some money for him. But I did bring in a few players as well. Spent about 60 million. And if you look at these names, you'll see. I couldn't resist it. I could not resist it. So, I've brought in a new left back as a backup to John Arnorisa, who I'm probably going to get 1, maybe 2 seasons out of him. David Alaba. 15 million from Bayern Munich at 18 years old. Couldn't resist it. But I also wanted a right back. Obviously, at this point in time, in this day and age, right backs, squad-wise, Liverpool weren't exactly flush with the best right backs in the world. So I went and got one of the best youngsters that I possibly could, and that is Danny Carvajal. What a player this guy will turn into. But, right, get this, there's a little bug in the game. I don't know whether it is part of the database or whether it's just the game itself. I brought him in, and as a happiness thing, he got brought in as a squad player. Then he's potentially going to be a regular and then an important player. That's where he sees himself. Fair enough. Squad player is absolutely fine. He'll get game time. He got upset because I brought in another right back, Carlos Diogo. I bought him in from Spurs, who, by the way, is absolutely phenomenal. Not a player that rings any bells from real life, but obviously clearly a real player at the time. Phenomenal player. Obviously played a lot in Spain and South America, but Spurs signed him for 1 season. He had a really good season. I came in and snapped him up for 25 million. Couldn't resist it, especially with these physicals, mentals and technicals. One of the best right backs in the game. So I thought, right, he comes in as my first choice pick. As soon as I brought him in, Carvajal got peed off. So this season is going to be interesting who's going to fight it out for that right back slot. But that wasn't the only player I bought in. I only went and got a young regen Sadio Mane into the side. And I'll tell you another thing in a second. So, he came up on my scout reports. Got highly rated. He was at Mets, 4.5 million for Sadio Mane, who's got a 5-star potential ability and already is looking like this. There was no way I was going to turn that down for 4.5 million. But do you want to know what the absolute kicker is? There was one other player I went for. Can you guess who it was? I'm going to tell you. Where is he? Mohamed Salah. 18 years old, looking like this. He was on a free transfer. His contract had run out in Egypt. I thought, yes, I can get him on a free. Brilliant. And then Man U came in and sniped me. And because at this point in time, Liverpool's reputation isn't as good as Man United's, we went to Man United instead. So in this alternate version of history, Mohamed Salah is at Man United. I'm utterly gutted about this. But there is other news as well. I went and had a look at Roberto Firmino as well. He has a release clause of 6.6 million. His class is a wonder kid and looks absolutely amazing at the age of 18. This one I may actually trigger. But on the 10th of August, I haven't decided yet. I'm going to simulate the season from here when I get to it. But I may be tempted into bringing Firmino in at 18 years old as well. Ooh, that is so tempting. But either way, so we'll have a look at the squad as it stands now. So I've got, tactically wise, pretty much the same. I've gone without restrictions, picking best 11. This is what it looks like. That whole Gerrard Torres combination. Beautiful. Cout on the left hand side as the inside forward, Babel on the right hand side as an inside forward, Alonso and Mascherano as the destroyer. Oh, disgusting. That is a thing of beauty for a defensive midfielder. Absolutely amazing. But when you've got a partner like Alonso alongside you who has 20 vision and 20 passing, yeah, it's good. Carragher and Agger as the centre-backs, Diogo and Reese as my full-backs, and Reina in goal. Carragher is the one question mark I've got because physically he's starting to deteriorate. He's not as fast, or he was never fast in real life anyway, but he's not as agile or fast anymore. So it may be a case I'll look at replacing him maybe next season. But in the squad as it stands at the moment, I do have a lot of options. They even signed Luis Sal when I was Benfica manager in the first season. So that is an option as well. I'm going to clear all that off. Get rid of all that. And yeah, as I say, so we've got a young Raheem Sterling who's going to hang around the squad, who is developing really nicely already at the age of 15. Madness. Peter Crouch is still here. Arda Turan is a player they actually signed on the game in the first season for 3.7 million. Cracking winger, so really good option there. Paul Anderson is a name that it rings a bell. I do remember this name, and I remember at that time, probably around about 2005, he was being touted as like a future England winger, and it never really worked out. But on the game, he's brilliant. So we'll see what happens with him. I'm very excited for this season because not only that, and another good reason why I picked Liverpool at this point in time is because they finished 7th and they qualified for the UEFA Cup. This squad has every chance of winning the UEFA Cup, and where I struggled on Glory Hunter last time, winning the Europa League, if I can get it done quickly now with this team, I'll be ecstatic. So let's go and simulate the season, go and find out, see if we can actually do it. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. The change in job seemed to have a positive effect on the club. The board wanted us back in the UEFA Champions League, and we fought very hard for it this season, recording only 2 losses in the league in the first 20 games, with vital wins like a 6-0 versus Sheffield United, a 1-0 Merseyside derby win versus Everton, a 3-0 win versus Man City, and a 4-0 win versus Blackburn, and that certainly helped propel us up the table and into a title race. But like all good honeymoons, it came to an end. Losing 1-0 versus City in the League Cup quarter-final, a 3-0 hammering by Man United in the FA Cup quarter-finals, a 3-1 loss versus Arsenal, and two 1-0 losses versus Portsmouth during the course of this season. These results ended any hopes of domestic success this season, but in Europe, that was a different story. We had to do it the hard way, of course, beating PSG 6-1 on aggregate in the knockouts, getting our revenge against Portsmouth with a 3-0 aggregate win in the round of 16, a 5-3 aggregate win over Valencia in the quarters, and a 4-3 aggregate win in the semi-finals of the Europa League to set up an unbelievable final and a Merseyside derby showdown versus Everton in the UEFA Cup final. Could this be the early chance that we need to finish off the Europa League challenge? Well, that's a good season in my book. Coming into the Liverpool side that hadn't qualified for the Champions League, finished 7th the season previous, adopting a new system, trying to get them into that Klopp system, so to speak, but like a decade earlier than that actually happened. It was difficult to do, and this is the era of Cristiano Ronaldo and Rooney and Man United. Bloody hell, they're difficult to beat. They are so difficult to beat. But we finished third on goal difference, a point ahead of Newcastle. We were there or thereabouts if we have a look at the past positions. Second, third. I don't know why it's dropped down like that. That's weird. Probably a bug in the game. But we were always there or thereabouts. We didn't drop out. We actually went top a couple of times. We didn't drop out of that Champions League zone all season. So I'm very, very happy with that. Stages, right, there we go. So if we have a look at goals-wise, Arsenal actually pinging the goals in. And we finished 5 points behind them, but it was our end of season. 2 draws and a loss. That is, what, 2, 4, 7 points dropped. Those 7 points would have put us on 86 and comfortably in second. Loss-wise, 2 home losses, one to Arsenal and one to Portsmouth for our bogey team this season. United beat us 2-0. West Ham. Draws, 1-1, 0-0, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Drawing games like that at home, I don't like doing that. Turning those draws into wins is going to be the target for next season. But overall, league performance, I'm very happy with that. The club vision, when I came in and they offered me the job, they wanted to get back in the Champions League. I've done that. So, did we win anything else? Did we win a domestic trophy to tick one off the list? Did we win the Europa League to tick that off our list? I got confused now. I thought we won the FA Cup as well. Yes. UEFA Cup win, but not only that, Merseyside derby win as well. Have that, you toffees. Okay, let's go and have a look at the Carabao Cup first, because we're knocked out by Man United in the FA Cup. Surprise, surprise. League Cup final, beat by Man City, who I did say they were shite in this one, and they are. I can't remember at this point in time who owns them. Club history. Where is that found? Excuse me. Overview. No. Managers. Oh, they did have Sven. Sacked him after a year. Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce? What? Sam Allardyce, really? This is a team with Kasper Schmeichel, Phil Jagielka, Elano, Martin Petrov. Obviously, they had Escudero off me. John Guidetti. Oh, there's a name from the past. Samras and Valery Boyanov. They weren't a very good side. I'm trying to remember when they actually got bought out. It may have been around this time. I can't remember. You can correct me in the comments. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But more annoyingly, we got beat by them. After absolutely annihilating Bolton 6-0. 4-1 against Plymouth. 4-0 against Spurs. And 2-0 against QPR, which, okay, it's not too bad. But a final, but the UEFA Cup. Oh, league phase. Oh, we're just off. That's quite a surprise, whereas Everton did. Fiorentina finished top. Gianpaolo Pazzini, one of the OGs of this game. Oh, in fact, he's getting scouted. He's getting scouted. That's enough said. He was one of my favourite players when I used to play this back at that time. Okay, so we went into the knockout rounds. We battered PSG 6-1. PSG before they were like sort of money bags. Round of 16, 3-0 against Portsmouth, so we got our revenge on the league losses that we had against him. Quarterfinals, 5-3 against Valencia. Semi-finals, 4-3 against Fiorentina. And then 2-0 against Everton. Oh. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm happy with that. Let's go and have a quick look at the squad. A quite inflated squad, should I say. This is going to need some tweaking during the summertime. Goals wise, 23-4 from Cout, 23-13 from Gerrard as a shadow striker. I expect nothing less. 18-11 from Babel, but only 17 goals from Torres. He is wanted. I don't know. Fernando Torres is one of the best strikers that we ever had. Do I want to let him go? I don't know. Oscar did return in the January transfer window because he was out on loan at Rangers, but he was having an absolutely outstanding time there, and I recalled him back just to give us a little bit more of a profile, and he played quite a few games for us. 10 goals, 3 assists, 24 appearances for us this season. This lad's a bit of a baller, to be fair. Salvio, no, he's out on loan, but had a good season actually. Turan, 8-8. 11 assists from Alonso. Risa, 5-7. Even Sadio Mane got 5-7 in 16 starts and has developed incredibly well. Wow. Okay. Oh, one final one. Financially wise, another 65 million to spend in the transfer window for season number 5. I need to bring in a couple of really world-class players, I think, just to really take this team to the next level. Because at the end of the day, the stark reality of it is we are 14 points behind United. It's not good enough. If I'm going to win the league title next season, or even a cup competition like the FA Cup, need to up our game. Okay. Well, there we go. That's the first season at Liverpool that we've done. I'm incredibly happy with the results. That is the Europa League, UEFA Cup, whatever you want to call it. That's gone. That's ticked off. Absolutely spot on. And that was one of the most difficult ones to get. So now it's down to the league title and the FA Cup. Can we do it? Come and join me in the next episode to find out. Don't forget to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you'd be so kind and share it amongst your friends. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.